Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, I saw this incredible little chart here today by Michael A. Arett. I hope I say that name right. And it shows that the S&P 490, which is the top 490 companies in the United States, has had basically no earnings growth since 2022. Despite rampant inflation, it's just 10 companies doing really well, while the broader economy is in contraction in real terms. Right, so top 490 minus the top 10, right? S&P 490, and the top 10 is killing it, right? So if you look at this chart here, you can look all the way back to end of 2021 and early 2022 over here, and you'll notice that the growth here, excluding top 10 companies, has been completely stagnant. And what you have to remember too, it's not just stagnant. It's not like you lost no value, because we actually have inflation, right, which is in the double digits, which means that you're really getting screwed over here. You've actually lost value in those 490 companies. Whereas for the top 10 companies, right, think of like your large companies like Apple, Nvidia, they are crushing it. They are killing it, and they are driving all of the growth that you see. So when you see the S&P 500 actually taking off and killing it, it is not because all these top 500 companies are actually booming and thriving. That's not the case at all. In fact, only the top 10 are overperforming, really carrying the rest of the pack. And, like this is a standard Pareto distribution, the fact that a small number drive the majority of gains. But this is almost unprecedented. Only 10 companies here are driving this much growth. That's crazy, right? And I think that's a solid indication here that the economy is not doing so well, if you ask me. And I would argue, too, a lot of these companies here in the top 10 are tech-based companies, which means that, I don't know if that means this. I'll tell you this. I think it might have to do with an AI bubble. All these big tech companies here may be overvalued. I mean, look at NVIDIA, right? I mean, Jesus Christ. And granted, they should be valued extremely high, but in the same breath, should they be valued as high as they possibly are? I don't know. There's an argument there, but what I am saying is something to strongly consider here, especially if you're investing. Maybe you might want to look at investing in some, maybe like the NASDAQ, for example. Instead of investing in the S&P 500. Obviously, the NASDAQ doesn't include, financial institutions, right? But with that said, it looks like we might get a little bit more growth. Obviously, you're going to have bigger swings with the NASDAQ, of course, but than you would with the S&P 500. But God, that just seems crazy to me. It's like you just cut off the majority of these companies and you wouldn't know that they're gone. In fact, you would, because you make more money. So, I don't know. It's interesting to me, ladies and gentlemen. But with that said, curious to see what you guys have to say about this. If you guys have any other insight as well. I always love looking at these little charts and graphs and whatnot. I don't know. I feel like it can be very telling to me, like economics, like the numbers behind politics. That's how I always sort of looked at it. And so I like being very interested in that stuff. But be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. We're at 313 as of today. And hopefully we can get to 500 subscribers, our next subscriber goal. And thank you so much for watching. Always do your own research. Always make up your own mind. Have a great day.